Well, thank you all very much. That was a profound response to saying thank you. This is a very lively audience. All right, let me just begin by thanking all of you for coming out and to say that we have 18 days of hard work in front of us to elect Gretchen Whitmer as the next governor of the state of Michigan. Let me take a moment to give you a brief rundown of modern American political history. And I can encapsulate it in a few words. 4 years ago, the United States of America, in its midterm election, had the lowest voter turnout since World War II. All of 36% of the American people came out to vote. It was a little bit higher here in Michigan, higher in Vermont, but all over this country, voter turnout was absolutely abysmal. And at the same time, the Koch brothers and other billionaires spent enormous amounts of money working to elect right-wing extremists to Congress and to governor's chairs all across this country. So 4 years ago, working people in large numbers did not vote. People of color in large numbers did not vote. Young people in very large numbers did not vote. And the result on election day was that the Republican Party won sweeping victories all across this country, which resulted in their control of the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate, and governor's chairs, including Michigan's, all across this country. And right now, as we speak, in state after state, Republican leadership is doing everything it can to suppress the vote. Because they are political cowards, because they don't have the guts to run on their non-existent ideas, and the only way they win elections is by running ugly 30-second ads and making sure that people don't vote. Our job in the next 18 days is to turn that entire scenario upside down. Instead of having the lowest voter turnout for a midterm election in modern American history, we are going, with your help, to have the highest voter turnout. And what that means, and here's where we need your help. You know, people in this country become intimidated by politics. You have friends who don't vote. They're going to give you long stories as to why they don't vote. My vote doesn't matter. Everybody is corrupt. Who cares? Nothing is going to change. On and on and on it goes. And your job is to sit down with those people and tell them you're not going to listen to them moaning and groaning about Donald Trump and what goes on in Washington or what goes on here in Michigan. No more complaining, no more depression, no more despair. Now is the time to stand up, fight back, and vote. And I don't know how many folks we have here, But if each and every one of you does what is not really that hard, and that is to say, yeah, I am going to come out to vote, but you know what? I'm going to bring my friends and my family. I'm going to drag them out. You can double or triple the vote for Gretchen from the people who was in this room today. You can double or triple the vote from the number of people in this room. And that's what we got to do. Now, the reason we need Gretchen as governor, and the reason we need progressives to be winning all across this country, and this afternoon I was in Indiana. We had a great rally for a candidate who I hope and believe will be the next congressperson from her district. Tomorrow we're going to South Carolina, then we're going to Iowa, and we're heading all over this country in the next week. And the reason that I am doing that is not just the policies, the ugly, vicious policies that are coming out of Washington. And I want to say a word to the people of Michigan who may be watching this online, who voted for Donald Trump. I understand why many of you voted for Donald Trump. You're hurting financially. You're working longer hours for lower wages. You're worried about your kids. You're worried about your jobs leaving this country. But what I want to say to you, and I think most Americans now understand it, is that in Donald Trump, we have a president who is a pathological liar. Who told the American people and the people of Vermont and Michigan one thing, but he ended up doing exactly the opposite. You may remember that Donald Trump said that I am a different type of Republican. I'm not Paul Ryan and I'm not Mitch McConnell. Donald Trump, if I get elected, I am not going to cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. You remember he said that? Well, he lied, because the last budget that he brought forth included a $1 trillion cut in Medicaid, $500 billion in Medicare, and $72 billion in the Social Security Trust Fund over a 10-year period. Donald Trump said, if I'm elected president, I'm going to have health care for everybody. He lied. Donald Trump led the effort to try and throw 32 million Americans off of the health care they have. Donald Trump just the other day, he was on 60 Minutes, and he said, well, you know, in terms of this climate change, well, people disagree about, what's going on. It's a lie. 99% of the scientists who have studied climate understand that climate change is real. It is caused by human activity, and it is already causing devastating problems in the United States and all over the world. Some of you see that recent report that came out from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. It said that if we do not get our act together all over this world within 12 years, a very short period of time, and transform our energy system away from fossil